Tracey Barnes Bass, New Canaan Experiment, class of 1975.
I love you, but you gotta take all this gorgeous hair and just put it around. Let's get together.
More than 4 decades later, she is still teaching.
44 altogether.
Well, look
Good morning, everybody.
In nearby Stanford, Connecticut.
It's not because I just happen to be African American. I will teach Shrek. I don't care what color you are.
Looking back on Tracey's life and career, she ranks the Norfolk State intern teaching experience among her best life choices.
If I had not been given the opportunity, I would never have met my husband. I would never have the 4 beautiful children that I have. I would not have the wonderful teaching jobs that I've had in New Canaan, New Haven, and now Stanford Public Schools for 43 years.
Tracy Bass is a family and consumer science teacher.
Read silently as I read aloud.
On any given day, you may find her here teaching a culinary class,
You got half your stuff in there.
instructing interior design,
It's looking great.
or providing lessons in food and nutrition.
And you're gonna be making your pizza tomorrow.
Her energy and smile, in a word, is contagious. If the question is, how did she choose Connecticut over Norfolk, Virginia?
I remember sitting in my grandmother's kitchen saying, "Grandma, I've been asked to participate in an experiment in New Canaan, Connecticut. Grandma, I've never left Virginia. I've never left this neighborhood. And I'm conflicting. What should I do?" And my grandmother Barnes looked at me and said, "Go ahead to Connecticut. I didn't raise a fool. You'll be okay." And because she said that and she believed in me, I did.
The belief extended beyond her grandmother's kitchen to the Norfolk State campus. Student interns understood the weight of the assignment.
Yes. Dr. Booth wanted to make sure that that Norfolk State produced teachers of excellence, and in any environment they could go and teach and help and motivate students and produce students of excellence. And I believe his purpose was served through the internship program.
It's been said, one child, one teacher, one pen can change the world. The aspiration of the New Canaan experiment was to improve racial understanding by living together and teaching together.
It was fantastic. It was a Cinderella story, I would think. Thinking back on it now, you're working in a perfect environment. You're working with students who really, really are enthusiastic about learning about you as you're learning about them. And it was a very, very beautiful exchange.
Tracy Bass, formerly Tracey Barnes, captured the crown of Miss Chesapeake Beach in the 1970s. She was the first African-American girl to place in the all-white pageant. It was a time in her life where she considered many options.
New Haven Public Schools came to Norfolk State and interviewed a lot of the students on campus. I was interviewed by New Haven Public School System, the superintendent there, as a matter of fact. And he said, when you go to New Canaan, look me up. So he gave me his business card. I came to New Canaan, I fell in love with the area, I fell in love with the people, and I stayed.
Over the years, Mrs. Bass accepted new teaching assignments in her new state, New Canaan, New Haven, and now Stanford. Each community evolved, presenting slightly more diverse mixes of students. In addition, this transplant from Virginia feels right at home.
I'm a part of the community. I've always wanted to do that, and I'm doing just what I always wanted to do. Help kids, help people, regardless of the color of their skin.
Tracy Bass, now teaching in her 43rd year, says she is on her 4th generation of students. Look around the room. She says it's not unusual to discover she's taught some of her students' mothers, fathers, aunts, and uncles.
I remember telling a student of mine, you know, when I had your father in my classroom, that little thing that you did over there, it didn't work for him then. So I advise you not to do that okay? You're a good kid. We're not going to have you do that. And he would laugh.
Today you'll find Tracy teaching in a slightly more diverse community, a stone's throw from New Canaan, the nearby town of Stanford. The founders of the New Canaan experiment believed it was a necessity for students to see different races in leadership positions in education. The current number of teachers of color in the area would suggest the goal is still a work in progress.
The town has become, in my mind, and I think some data would substantiate this, more liberal, more encompassing, and the Norfolk experiment was an important part of this. I think it showed people who weren't part of the program that it could be done.
In Peter's opinion, the barriers, the thing that stands in the way of more diversity in New Canaan, is more about economics.
It's an expensive place to live. So this is not ever going to be or not in my lifetime, or maybe my kids, a melting pot here in New Canaan, but by gosh, we can embrace inclusiveness in other ways.